Hey everyone, welcome again to my channel. Today I'm taking you with me to the very first event of 2023 for us. And it was immediately a big one because it was Facts Spring Edition. Facts is kind of like a Comic-Con here in Belgium. It has two editions a year, being the first one being their spring edition somewhere in April, and then their fall edition somewhere in October. But before we go to facts, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome to Quillscene. My name is Megan. If you like things that have to do with magic, with reading, with writing, with books, with Harry Potter, with Marvel, with DC, with anything geeky really, then you're in the right place. Make sure to click on the magical subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell, because on that way you'll always get a notification whenever I upload a new video. But yeah, time to get our cosplay on. We're going to facts. Before we start the video, a little disclaimer. My youngest dog is running around here in my office, in my workspace. So if you hear like the ticking of paws against wood, or barking or anything, that's her. So yeah. But as I said, Facts Spring Edition was our first event of 2023. It was hosted on Saturday the 1st of April. And no, it wasn't an April Fool's joke. And Sunday the 2nd of April. Of course, we went to set up our booth on Friday because Facts is hosted at Flanders Expo in Ghent, which is like this big complex of halls. And our booth was in Hall 4. But we only like had the floor space. So when you book a booth with Facts, you can choose to only book the floor space, or also book like floor space with tables that you rent from them. But of course that makes the renting price even higher. And it was already high enough. So plus we also have tables of our own. So we decided to go on Friday to, set up our tables. So we drove to Ghent, which is for us usually like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours if there's traffic. But luckily it was just an hour and a half. So yeah, traffic was okay-ish for, a Friday morning, because we tried to leave like after the morning traffic usually would start. But still early enough that we would be able to leave before the evening traffic started. But the thing was, when we arrived at the scene in the hall 4 where our booth would be, we came to the conclusion that there was like this type of crane. I will insert the footage here somewhere. That there was some kind of crane parked exactly on the spot in the corner where our booth would be. But of course I still had to go to the office space to registrate our that we were there, and also get the little bands, arm bracelets in paper for that I had ordered for our booth employees, as they call it, which were basically all the other writers that were present at our booth. And also like the parking passes that we had to put in our car, because Facts has a different parking lot for their sellers, and then another parking lot for their visitors. So I had to go, get those from the office and also register that we were there. But then I could also, complain about the fact that there was a crane parked at our booth spot. So yeah, I told them that, we're here to set up our booth, but we can't because there's a crane parked at our booth. And they were like, yeah, that's probably one of our contractors with who we work to, set up the hall, because of course Facts themselves also has a lot of designing to do in the different halls. They have like these big flags that they hang from the ceiling as guides for the people to visit. Plus the hall where we stood, hall 4, is actually usually the hall where that The visiting actors also have their photo ops and autograph moments. So that part of the event is also completely for facts to, you know, design those booths. So yeah, long story short, we basically sat there twiddling our thumbs for about half an hour before finally someone showed up to take the crane away, and then we could just, you know, start with placing our tables and already putting out our books where possible. And then at the end, when we were done, we just covered everything up with blankets and yeah, cloths. So, you know, to protect it, because the floor's effects are guarded during the event, and also when the vendors are come to build up their booths. So we knew it was safe, but still, like, our box with money and stuff like that, we didn't leave that behind. Also not on the days of the event itself, that would always go home with us. But our books and stuff like that, we left there. Funny thing was, while we were building up our booth, I saw, like, across from where we were, there was like this massive booth, not just tables, but like an entire set created. And it was with so the background, but it was just like, you know, a wooden board with an image printed on it, but the background was like Greek temples and the Greek sea, and then you had statues from the goddess Athena. And for the ones who don't know, the books I write have Greek mythology as a red thread through it. So when I went to investigate what that book was about, it turned out to be the comics / mangas from Saint Seiya. And Saint Seiya, I personally knew it as the anime version because I saw it on Netflix, which is also an anime / comic / manga, because it's apparently it's originally French. At least that's what my research told me, that it was originally French, because the people who had the booth were the French comic book artists. But as I was saying, it is actually a comic book manga like anime that also has Greek mythology as their base, because there it is about always rebirth of the goddess Athena. And that Athena has to, you know, choose her knights that have a correlation with one of the star signs. So that was, yeah, I love that story. But of course, as we were building up our booth, the booth of Saint Seiya stood there, but there was no one there present. So I may have taken the opportunity, and I'm going to scoot a bit over so I can insert them right here. I took a few pictures with my books, maybe. That was also very fun. But as I said, the booth itself on Saturday and Sunday, there were the French comic book artists and writers who had like the omnibus set of the comics, but in French. Sadly, if they were in English or in Dutch, I would have bought them, because again, I love Saint Seiya. But they were only in French, and my French, even though it is supposed to be my second language, not very good, no. It's not good. So yeah. But yeah, that was when we set up our booth. But the event itself, of course, was on Saturday, 1st of April, and Sunday, 2nd of April. And it was very, very fun, because as I said, the corner booth, we usually share our booth with the people from Lucky Duckling, which is a mead shop, which is honey wine from Brugges. Nele, who is the head of Lucky Duckling, And some of the writers of the Writers Collective have an arrangement that she actually has book mead. So it is mead linked to our books. For example, I have a Music Academy mead, which is Yucatan honey flavor, which fits perfectly with my books. And so a few other writers also have a link to their book with a certain mead. So she had like the farthest corner of our booth, and then we with the authors and my mom and our magical creations had like the L shape. And now I have to take a little peek at our at everyone who was there. So my mom was there, I was there, Pam Stewart, Dimitri, Balcaen, Petra Doom and Jelmer Panman were there, and also Elizabeth Kayland. Mathias Maho, who is also a part of, you know, our vast core group of the Writers Collective, was also there, but not at our booth. He was at the booth of his publisher, because his publisher always has a booth at Facts, and it is like with the contracts and everything, it is, yeah, the needed actually that when your publisher has an event, a booth at an event, that you as a writer go there instead of course, take a booth somewhere else on the same event with someone else at the same event. So Matthias was there, as you will probably see from our group pic. Again, I'll insert it here. We always take like a serious one, which I'll show it now, and then we also take a funny one. And the funny one was that the writing gods demanded a sacrifice, so we decided to throw Dimitri in the volcano. You have to think of the volcano though. But yeah, that's the vibe of when you put fantasy writers together. But again, it was very fun. We also took part, became part of the Pokemon hunt, because apparently it was like 5 years, I think, or I can't remember. It was so many years, the birthday of Pokemon Go. That's a setup. And they did a Pokemon hunt, which was basically that they had like all sorts of 3D printed Pokemon that they hid throughout in the entirety of Facts. So we had, again, I'll try to add a picture. We had a Jolteon that came hiding out for the weekend at our booth. He was on top of my banner, and people were supposed to snap pictures. And then at the entrance, I think there was like a Pokemon Go booth where they had to show their pictures, and if they had found every Pokemon, they got a prize. Don't ask me which prize, because I don't know, because I didn't have the time to take part in it, sadly. Because there was also like a Horcrux hunt with from Harry Potter, but that was with QR codes. And then you could get, if you found all the Horcruxes, you could get like a limited edition print from Harry Potter. Again, I couldn't take part in it because I was too busy, but it was very fun. We also again hosted some panels. On Saturday there were 2 panels, which I took part in the world building panel together with Pan, with Matthias, and with Jelmer, if I'm not mistaken. And Geeky Publishing was the second panel of Saturday, and that was with Petra, Jelmer and Dimitri. And on Sunday our panel was about character building, which was also very, of course, interesting to do. And then we're back with the facts haul, because I can't visit facts even as a seller without coming back with merchandise. Yay! So with my brother I had a very specific quest that I failed half because my brother is also, together with my brother, we're big Pokemon fans. We were, of course, I had already played the new Pokemon game. He still has to play it, but the Nintendo Switch is my terrain, so that's why he usually pushes the Nintendo Switch back as most as he can, because now we're playing actual Link. We're replaying Skyward Sword because I'm not allowed to play the new game before I completed all the other games again. So my brother's logic, he has autism, so yeah. But so my quest was to find Pokemon stuffies or cuddlies, and from our starters Pokemon in the new game. And my starter would be is Sprigatito, the grass Pokemon of the new gen. My brother is going to pick Fuecoco. Problem is, Saturday was such a busy day because both Saturday and Sunday started for the VIPs at 9 o'clock. The door opened for the VIPs at 10 o'clock. The door opened for the normal visitors. And Saturday, now I have to take a peek, but Saturday was a long day. And Saturday it was until 7 p.m. And Sunday it was until 5 p.m. But Saturday was very busy because it was, of course, a long day. It was also the first day of the event, so some writers who didn't come to help set up on Friday didn't have their ticket yet. So in the morning I had to cross back and forth between our booth and the entryway to bring the parking tickets and the bracelets that granted them access to the event. So there was a little bit of stress, of course, there. Plus we had 2 panels. So back then I didn't have a lot of time to walk around and go shopping. So all my shopping was done on Sunday in the quiet time in the morning. So by then, apparently all the Fuecocos that were there, which weren't many, but there were on Saturday, all Fuecocos were gone. So I had a little problem because I had promised my brother that I would bring him a Pokemon stuffy. So eventually I settled for Sprigatito for me. And I got him Score Bunny from the generation before this generation, because Score Bunny is his starter in this generation too, and he didn't have Score Bunny yet. But of course I had to also promise him, because he now has a Litten and a Score Bunny, that next time I would see a Free Cocoa, I would get him a Free Cocoa. So that he has, you know, the triple fire sign Pokemon. And it's very weird because my brother usually goes for the fire Pokemon while his birth element is water. And I usually go most of the time for the grass Pokemon, while my birth element is actually fire. But originally Gen 1, I'm a Bulbasaur girl, I can't help it. I also have a Bulbasaur, by the way, so Sprigatito is in good company. So yeah, this was my first purchase of the day. And then I was walking around and suddenly spotted a booth that sold things from Nemesis Now, from Anne Stokes, and from Lisa Parker. And for the people who don't know what those names are, those are like beautiful, beautiful statues. They have like mugs, they have clocks, they have notebooks, they have backpacks with the artwork, they have calendars. And Anne Stokes is usually the one who works with a lot of dragons, while Lisa Parker, she draws also dragons, but usually actually she is mostly known for her Black Cat collection. And people who know me in real life, and probably people who have followed me here too, know that I have two cats, being a ginger cat named Flash and a black cat named Boo. And because right there, I don't know if you can see it, I will pick one of them. I am obsessed with the entire, well, I'm obsessed with Anne Stokes, with Nemesis Now, but especially with the Black Cat collection of Lisa Parker. So this is actually one of two. But these ones I already had, so these I didn't buy on Facts. But for example, these are a duo of statues from the Black collection by Lisa Parker. They are called Hocus and Pocus. So cute. But I also have, like, up there, I have like 3 more cat statues, black cat statues from the same collection. But the thing was, they also have from very fluffy blankets with the artwork from Lisa Parker and from Anne Stokes. But online they were quite pricey, being around 80-90 euros mostly. And now I saw that they the vendor that had that booth sold them for 50 euros. This is still pricey, but still because it's quite big blanket, and it has like fleece on the top layer, and below it has like this fluffy sheep-like material. So, and it was also a bit cold in the halls. So I made a practical, I bought something practical, which is a beautiful, I'm going to give you guys a close-up in a bit, but it's a beautiful, large, well, it's a one person, but it's pretty large for one person actually, a good size, blanket from the Lisa Park collection. And again, she, so as I said, the front is printed fleece, so this is where the image is printed on, and the back is like this fluffy sheep-like material. And the image, I don't know if you can see it well, but it is a cat, of course, sitting in front of a window with the full moon in the background. And if you pull it up, you can see that the cat has an activated orb, glass orb or glass ball. And there is also potions and stuff. So I love this blanket. Again, I'll give you guys a close-up where you can see the drawing better. But yeah, I love this blanket. It has been used since very often. My dogs and cats are also very fan of it. But yeah, this was a thing that actually stood on my wish list for a long time, that I now got for a better price. plus it was also a design that I wanted. And again, it was very practical because we used it in during the event itself when it was quite cold. So yeah, that we put it over our laps. And then of course, as I was browsing, I was also looking for something, for a little gift, actually for my mom, because my mom, she is my chauffeur. She every event that I go to, she goes with, because I can't drive. I still don't have a driver's license, even though I'm almost 30 years old. The reason why, fear. As some of you may know, I've had eye cancer when I was a baby, causing that I lost my left eye. So I'm half blind. So I have this deep-rooted fear of driving with a car, and because yeah, I'm very sensitive for lights. So I now know already that I can't drive at night, because when the cars who drive towards me come with their lights on, they blind me. Also, when it rains, same story. I'm also afraid that I will be more accident prone, because I can't see everything at right, and it has just a lot of fear and stress around it. So that's why I don't have a driver's license yet, even though I know that one day I have to get it. But still, it's traumatic for me. So that's why, you know, my mom always plays chauffeur. Plus it was also coming towards Easter, so I figured I want something for my mom as a little gift. And the thing that you have to know about my mom loves to crochet, my mom loves ceramics, my mom loves fantasy, my mom loves our cats and our dogs, and my mom loves miniatures. So suddenly I stumbled upon the booth from Louvre, and Louvre is a small company, ceramics company, that does fantasy ceramics, and it's actually a mother-daughter duo who make the things, and then the dad/husband goes with them to events as an extra, you know, hand at the booth. And when I was there, the mother and daughter were just also walking around, so it was the dad/husband who helped me pick the things for my mom. So the first things I saw was this cute little tray with like several, I think it were 2 or 3 layers, full of like little figurines. And the first one I saw, so basically miniature ceramics, 2 things my mom loves in fantasy theme. So the first one I saw that I wanted to buy even for myself if my mom didn't like it was this one. Look how cute. It's a little black cat on a pumpkin. And look how cute. Of course, again, I have a black cat of my own, Boo. So this one, of course, was immediately a yes. And then I saw another creature that both my mom and I love, being a miniature niffler with a little coin with a heart on it. Look how cute! My mom also loves the niffler, again, because it reminds us also about our black cat. So that was cute. But then I was like, now I have a lot of black and orange. I need a little bit of color. And then I saw that they also had like miniature dragons, and my mom loves dragons, of course, again, fantasy. And my mom's favorite color is blue. So when I saw this little guy, look how cute, I was like, yep, you'll be the 3rd one to come home with me. So yeah, when my mom opened these, she was immediately in love. She even said, because the first one she opened was the black cat on the pumpkin, and she was like, I would be angry if you didn't take that one with you. And I was like, I know, I would be angry at myself if I didn't take that one with me. And then of course the niffler, she was, oh my god, he's cute. And then the little dragon, oh my god, he's even cuter. Well, equally cute, not cuter, but huh? But the thing was, as I was ending the transaction for these three, I spotted a yarn ball. And my mom loves to crochet. But the yarn ball was so perfect that I couldn't resist it. It's an orange cat. It's my baby Flash. Look how cute. Look how cute. So a yarn ball is basically a bowl with, I don't know if you guys can see it well, there's a hole right here. And so a yarn ball is meant for that you put your wool in the bowl and that you put the strand that you're using through the hole so that, your wool turns around in the bowl without it falling on the ground or something. It's so cute. I was like, you can give that one too. So yeah, again, because it reminded me of my my own orange cat Flash. They don't make enough things with orange cats. So I was like, even though if mom doesn't use it as a yarn ball, she can put like a little fake plant in it or something, also goes. But I needed Flash. So again, when I came to the booth, I was like, this is for you. And then she opened up her little critters over here and she was immediately in love. And then of course this one, she was, oh my god, it's Flash. I was like, I know. So yes. So again, the company is called Loof. And they make, they're from the Netherlands and they make really cute things because I could have bought everything there. But of course, I needed to show some restraint. But yeah, my mom already said if they show up on the next edition and the editions in the future, I'm always welcome to buy her more of these mini ones. Because they look very cute in our built-in bookcases in front of the books. So now she wants to have shelves upon shelves upon shelves of miniatures. So yeah, will be a collection. And that was everything I bought actually, but not everything I got. Because when I returned to the booth from my shopping spree, there was a personal gift waiting for me. Little backstory, Elizabeth Kayland, one of the writers that was also part of our booth, had bought my Music Academy books on a previous event like half a year ago or something. And she hadn't read them yet, but they were on her to-be-read pile. But up until that moment, she hadn't the chance to read them yet. So right before Facts, she had started reading my first book. And she was actually finishing up the last few chapters on the first day of Facts. So when I came back from my first walk around on Saturday, I think, or no, it was from when I came back from my panel on Saturday, that was it. I suddenly noticed that I have this little plastic frame where I put my price list from my books so that the readers who want to buy my books immediately know how much my books cost. I suddenly saw that in the back was something that wasn't there before. It was a drawing of one of my characters. So Elizabeth, she finished reading the book, and as a lot of other readers, she became a huge fan of Yura, which is my dragon character in my books. And the thing is, Elizabeth can draw beautifully, and she also writes books with dragons in it. So she drew Yura immediately for me. And yeah, this is my second character artwork that I get, and both of them are from Yura, so I need to start a Yura fan club. I think those buttons will sell like candy if I'm honest. So yeah, another interpretation of Yura. And that was everything I got from Fact Spring Edition. And yes, I know a lot of people will probably say, where the hell is your lightsaber? Because I've been trying to, well, this was the second year. This is the second year that we're taking part at Facts as vendor slash panelists. So last year, 2022, the spring edition, we did only panels. We didn't have our own booth. We did have, like, every writer for themselves had the opportunity to take like one of the slots for signing sessions that were hosted at the booth of the Brugse Boekhandel. But from Facts Fall 2022, so the edition before this one, we decided to start with our own booth. And from basically last year, well, it started with spring that I was like, I want to buy a lightsaber. And that my mom was like, if wait till fall, then we have our own booth and you can, you know, then you don't have to walk around with it the entire day. I was like, okay, we'll wait till fall. And then fall 2022, I was like, yeah, I went shopping a lot too. And I was my mom like, maybe wait till spring. Because now our car is full of stuff, of other stuff. We don't know if it fits in our car. I was like, okay, fine. And then now spring came and I was like, Mom, I didn't buy my lightsaber yet. Wait till fall. So yeah, it always gets pushed back. But I'm telling you, one day I will get my lightsaber. I want a purple lightsaber. I am a Mace Windu fan, so plus purple is one of my favorite colors. So the lightsaber will happen. Hopefully the fall edition. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on that one too. All that's left to say then is thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a little thumbs up. Also feel free to leave a comment down below. In the description box I will leave, as usual, a list of all the authors that were present at our booth, plus of course Mathias, because again, Mathias wasn't part of our booth, but he's part of our Vikings collective, so I will also put next to every author, if they only publish in Dutch or also have English translations of their works, in case you're interested, so be sure to check that one out. Normally I will try to upload the panels also, though I only filmed 2 out of 3. I filmed the panel about world building and the panel about character building. Geeky Publishing I didn't get to film because I wasn't part of that panel, and on the moment that my colleagues had to leave for that panel, it was very busy at our booth, so I couldn't, you know, run after them with the camera. So I will try to upload those 2 panels soon, though they will only be in Dutch, of course, but I'll put that in the title too. And with that, I say goodbye, and hopefully I see you guys soon for another bookish, magical, probably on the go video. Bye!